ding dong, ding ding dong. There is thunder, there is thunder. Here is thunder, there is thunder. Here is cool drops, here is cool drops. Pitter patter raindrops, pitter patter raindrops. I'm all wet, I'm all wet. Walking, 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 walking. Honey, 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 honey. Running, 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 running. Now I stop, now I stop.
Right in the middle of London Town Square, 10 bakers were baking a birthday cake there, 20 feet wide and 30 feet long. The women were watching and singing this song.
Patter cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake just as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with B. Put it in the oven for baby and me. For baby and me, for baby and me. Put it in the oven for baby and me.
Meanwhile, as Jill and her kitty watched the people go by, she thought she heard another cat cry. And when she crept to where she could see, she saw not just one, but a mother and 3.
What 3 little kittens, they lost their mittens and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost.
What, lost your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then you shall have no pie.
Meow, 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 meow. The 3 little kittens, they found their mittens and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found.
What, found your mittens, you darling kittens? Then you shall have some pie.
Meow, 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 meow. The 3 little kittens put on their mittens and soon ate up the pie. Oh, mother dear, we greatly fear our mittens we have soiled.
What, soiled your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then they began to sigh.
Meow, 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 meow. The 3 little kittens, they washed their mittens and hung them up to dry. Oh, mother dear, look here, our mittens we have washed.
What, washed your mittens, you darling kittens? But I smell a rat close by.
Meow, 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 meow.
Things were happening everywhere. People were selling and buying and feasting and watching. And Georgie and Mary and Jack and Jill and Little Boy Blue were having a wonderful time. And they were discovering that some of their friends were also in London town for the king's birthday.
Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall we give him? White bread and butter. Lucy Lockett lost her bucket. Kitty Fisher found it. Not a penny was there in it, only ribbon round it. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled on a plum and said, what a good boy am I. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? That seems easy enough. Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers, a peck of peppers, a peck of peppers.
I can't do it. Well, with all the confusion, a little boy had lost his dog, so Georgie and Jack helped in the search.
Oh, where has my little dog gone? Oh, where can he be? With his ears cut short and his tail cut long. Oh, where can he be?
Tigglety, tigglety, pop! The dog has eaten a mop. The pig's in a hurry, the cat's in a flurry. Higglety, pigglety, pop!
At a nearby church, the bells began to ring. Wedding bells, thought the children. So they climbed the great stone steps and opened the door to a very large room and laughed to see the bride and groom.
Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. Said the fly, said he, will you marry me and live with me, sweet bumblebee? Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. Said the bee, said she, I'll live under your wing and you'll never know I carry a sting. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. So when Parson Beetle had married the pair, they both went out to take the air. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. And the flies did buzz and the bells did ring. Did you ever hear so merry a thing? Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee.
On one street, a circus, another, a play. Just about everything was happening that day.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon.
Suddenly, the sound of golden trumpets rang out from the castle on the hill. Then, all throughout the kingdom, it was absolutely still.
The king!
I think I see him.
I'm sure I do. Me too. I can hardly believe this.
And sure enough, through grand, wide gates, the royal carriage came, covered with the most beautiful flowers and ringing with the sound of silver bells. Pulled by 8 snow-white horses and followed by a dozen soldiers, all dressed exactly the same in rose-red coats with black scarves and shiny buttons all the size of a sixpence each. Then the crowd gathered around the carriage in the square as the coachman opened the door, and old King Cole himself stepped from inside, and his name was called from far and wide.
Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Every fiddler had a fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Tweedledee went the fiddlers 3, and so merry we will be.
People were rushing everywhere to get a look at the king, and Humpty Dumpty climbed high on a wall, which was not a very smart thing.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Then the bakers of London town presented King Cole with a huge birthday cake. He cut it with his bright silver sword, so everyone there could enjoy a piece. Then he exclaimed, "What a marvelous birthday party! I couldn't be a happier king."